Hello, so the US station who supports me on Patreon, big thank you to him, asked me could I do a video where I tried getting a PBF and putting in these sort of 3M sort of cotton filters to see if it would work. So I'm going to try that. I thought at the same time what I'd also do is try using these sort of slightly higher quality 3M filters, the ones that have fiberglass in and the plastic case. Now you can actually remove the case from this if you wanted to. I can't remember, one of these I've removed it from and the other I haven't, so let me just work out which was the one on here I've removed. You should be able to do it with them in the case absolutely fine anyway, but with one of these I basically just undid the plastic tab so I could have a look at the filter without the sort of bits on. But anyway, you just either line the fiberglass sort of that, like that, just going down that side, that's the only thing that's there. So first things first, we're going to have to take the cheek filters out, which is probably easier said than done, this, you know, being a cheek filter mask. So let's get these caps off first of all. So these are just the caps with the intake valve on them that hold the cheek filters into the mask. These ones are tough one to get off. I think it's slowly coming, but it's not an easy job. So yeah, what I'm trying to do is just prise that off. Let me just see if I can use the screwdriver on my Swiss Army knife. Use the flathead screwdriver, because what I basically just want to do is get that under there and prise it up. It should go, I just don't want to obviously damage the rubber or anything at the same time. I think that's coming now. Slowly coming up. There we go. Right. So that's both of those off. So now the difficult bit, opening the cheek filter pouches and getting the cheek filters out. At least generally on a cheek filter mask it is easier getting them out than in. So let me just open these pouches up. Sorry you're not seeing much here, but all I am doing is literally undoing buttons on the cheek filter thing. So let's get that open. There we go. Right, so as you can see now, the oral nasal cup is disconnected from the sides. So now, let's pull these out. And now obviously I'm having the issue of trying to unstretch the rubber. There we go. That's that one. So there you go, there's the PBF cheek filter, the EO19. Now these probably contain asbestos because there's been a few people that have cut these open and sort of used microscopes and burnt them. I've never seen any official lab tests on them, but in those sort of tests people just cut them open and burn them. They don't burn very well, which is kind of a sign they may contain asbestos. And you know, history of other Soviet filters as well kind of makes you think, do these contain asbestos? Probably. So right, there's the other filter out. There we go, that was easier than I thought. Right, so now as you can see, there's the PBF with no cheek filters in it. So first of all, let's try these. So it would make sense, I think, to try and put this bit facing out. So the only problem with this makes it a bit easier to do, but it's also a problem, is that because both of these types of filters are smaller, as you can see, by quite a large degree than the cheek filters that go in it, I think there may be an issue with them not holding in place, but we'll find that out soon. So let's get into the cheek filter section of this mask. I think turning this inside out has actually made this more difficult a task than it was the other way around. Let's just shove it all through there. So I'm going to make one of these hideous PBF monsters again. There you go. The vagina-faced PBF monster. Let's see now if I can get into that cheek filter easily. To be honest, I think it's just going to be easiest just to shove them in like this. So let's try first getting this one in. Right, so this one's in place there. Now let's see if I can stretch this over. But I think how the this little filter doesn't have a very big sort of nub to connect to. Yeah, it doesn't. This isn't going to hold it because these filters, as you can see, have this kind of ridge on them. And annoyingly, I don't think they will come off the filter. So yeah, these ones won't really work. There might be a way you can wedge them in there, but the issue is they'll sit very loose inside the pouch, and then what will happen is, you know, they're not going to work that way. It's worth a try, but okay, now this is the one he requested anyway. These. Now, these will definitely fit in there, no issue. The thing I'd imagine, though, is that they're not actually going to sit tight to, the thing. So, if I remember, the side of the text faces inwards, doesn't it, with these? I doubt it really matters all that much. So, let's see, can I squeeze this in? I should definitely be able to squeeze it in, no problem. I'm just trying to not fold it up horribly. It's probably a visually pretty boring video because you can't actually see me doing all this. And you wouldn't see much even if I aim the camera down at the moment because you just see me struggling with a cheek filter mask. Right, there you go. So that's that there. But again, the issue you're going to have, I think, is that there's nothing really holding it in place. So obviously, if you had it just like that, then yes, it would work. The issue being that I don't think there's any way of this mask of actually forcing the... Oh, I'm going to try and get it into the rubber a bit more, but I just don't think there's going to be a way of getting this to actually sit against that. Because I think the issue is, because these caps don't really connect to that bit, I don't think even if you put those on, they're going to do much, unfortunately. But yeah, you could do it in theory of simply having those in there, but I'll show you the issue. I'll just have that one on that side. I think the air just flows around it. Yeah, so unfortunately that's not really going to work. Now if you had one of the bigger 3M filters, there's a possibility that it could, but I have got one more idea I want to try. So not using these, I want to go back to those Scott filters I put into the Chinese Type 65, and I want to see if they'll work on this. Let's give that a go. So I'm on about this filter, so let's get the packet open at the other side for the one filter in here I've not used yet. Because the thing is, with lots of these kind of industrial proprietary half face mask filters, you get them in all sorts of shapes and sizes. I was saying the annoying thing is I wish some of these had a bigger sort of ridge around there, because then you could get them to stick into the PBF, I reckon, no problem. So there's that side. Anyway, let's see what happens. So I'll just get that in there. If I can fit it in as well, because it's actually bigger sort of length or width wise than the cheek filters were. So there's that. Right, that's in there, but unfortunately I don't think that is actually going to sit tight, but that's there like that. So that's kind of interesting. That's there. I wonder if I do the pouch up, if it would actually keep enough pressure on it. Because I don't think that's really going to slip out, in all honesty. I think this might work. As always, closing these buttons on a cheek filter mask is horrible. I feel like I'm destroying the skin on my hands doing this. So if you don't know, I'm trying to get that little button up in there, pushed over, but always easier said than done with these sort of masks, I'm afraid. Right. Yeah, I'm not really managing this, I'm afraid. I'm managing to cut the skin off my hands doing this, but not actually, get much of it right. I won't bother with that. I'll do the other filter on the other side. I just need to open another packet of them, because there's two in a packet and I've already got one in the of a mask, so just get one of these, get this open. Oop, there he goes. Right. I suppose what you could actually do, which I didn't think of, is, it wouldn't be a perfect fit anyway, but yeah, you could probably put that over there. Let me just try this, right? What I'm thinking is squeezing. Let me tell you what, I will pan the camera down, because although you'll just be looking at my crotch for most of it, you might at least see a bit more action, no pun intended. Right, so I'm going to have to get this cheek filter back out there a minute. Let's put this cheek filter in first. The just cotton 3M pad. And that's there. Then what I'm hoping is if I get the other filter and put that in, that will actually put enough weight against that little 3M pad filter that it won't be able to move out the way. That's the plan anyway. Whether or not this is going to work is a completely different story. But there we go, that's that filter in, with that there. So that makes it a bit harder for it to push away, and that would give you a bit more particle protection, obviously, than just one of these generic sort of Scott filters would. But again, here's that bloody little thing that I don't think I'm going to be able to do up, because I absolutely hate the buttons they come up with for these masks. Oh, is he through? I think he's through. There we go. So there's that one. So that's done up. And as you can see, it does move away a little bit from the side, but it seems to sit there alright. I suppose if you wanted it to look like you had filters in one of these, for some sort of cosplaying type thing or whatever, or a costume thing, you could do it with, say, filters this way. And it would actually, I guess, do a bit of filtration. Unlike if you were just to, you know, stuff a bit of paper in there or something to make it look like there's something in the cheeks. Right, so now we'll do this side. So that's that bit put in there. And then we'll get this filter. Shove him in. These are actually a lot easier to put in than the cheek filters, saying that, because they're a bit smaller. So, right, there's that one there. Now we need to do this annoying process again of pulling this over the button. And now what's annoying this time is the bloody buttons transfer to the wrong side. So I'm going to have to get that button out of there, put that back through the right way. Just these little bits of plastic that clip onto each side. So let's get, actually I might be able to fold back some of this for this bit. And maybe not. See, this is what makes some of these masks so annoying to do. This is just how many bits get in the way when you're trying to do the cheek filters. Right, okay, let's try this again. So, put this in there, doesn't matter which way round. Right, that's up there. Right, now, this is ready for doing this bit. So now what I need to do is basically stretch that. I don't know if putting my finger through that briefly is going to help keep it open. And then stretch this little bastard over here. Right, tell you what, I'm just going to cut the camera. I won't bother doing this pouch up for now. We'll just test the mask and see if we have any results. Okay, so that's the PBF on, and as you can see, I've got the filter arrangement done in each filter. Okay. It still seems to seal, but obviously that's not a guarantee, because that's just the air bits being blocked there. But let's now get the banana oil. This will be the moment of truth. Personally, I don't think this is going to work, but it's worth a shot.
Now I can smell that very easily. So unfortunately, this doesn't really work. Maybe it would give you some particle protection. I imagine the problem is the air comes in, goes up like that, and then just around the cheek filter design.
Because obviously, with the Soviet cheek filters, I think the reason they work is because they have this ridge on them. That, you know, sorts it out. So let me just get this out. It was worth a try. Good thing to attempt, but it's not worked. It may be possible that you could get some sort of brand of 3M or some other filter that fits these pouches almost exactly. Because as you saw in the video I did on the Chinese Type 65, I did actually get that working. But that was, I think, more of a fluke of the Scott filters were close enough to the original size that combining those with some other bits made it work. But yeah, it was worth a try. Now, I guess you want to see me suffer now, don't you? So let's get these and put these back in. First filter's in there without as much issue as I thought I was going to have getting it in. So let's just see if I can get that. There we go. That's one in. That was remarkably undifficult, wasn't it, for a cheek filter mask? So let's just snap the bit back on. Oh dear, that's also when I've put one of those 3M filters in, it's ripped a bit off the 3M filter. That's not good. Now, can I get this thing to clip back onto the thing? I think just about. There we go. Now, what you could try, I guess, I might as well do this now actually, before I end the video, just because these have got slightly damaged anyway, is just basically put this 3M filter in here over the top of the cheek filter. That way, if you were to breathe through the mask, maybe some asbestos would get stuck on this. No guarantee, obviously, it would actually work, but, you know, I suppose it's better than nothing. So as you can see, you've now got the 3M one there. Here's the very awkward bit of trying to close this back onto the button thing. Which I can't be asked to do right now. Right, let's do the other side then, repeat the process. So try and get our cheek filter slot open as much as possible. Get our Soviet cheek filter. Shove him in there. There we go, now that's that one almost done. There we go, that's that in there. Let's put this cap back on there. And there we go. Now all that's left to do is put this inside there. There we go. Again, doesn't quite fit to the shape of the filter, but it's better than nothing. Now, the last bit, seeing if I can... what is that bulging like that? It shouldn't be. It's in the pocket fine, but for whatever reason the rubber's being a bit bulgy. Right, regardless, let's now see if we can stretch this over there again. No, I'm going to give up on doing that bit. But there you go, that's the PBF with its original filters back in, plus some 3M pads on it. So yeah. Cheek filter masks, still as irritating as ever, even if you try and change the design of them.